Hello everyone and welcome to not the final Wars of the Roses battle report on the channel, but at least a finale of the little mini campaign that's been going on here. I'm being joined today by Robin and Miller again, and today we are going to be playing a straight up pitch battle between the forces of the Neville family and the forces of the Duke of Suffolk. After all of the little games that we play, I say little games, have still been quite long, we are going for a straight up good old medieval battle in the field, in a bit of a valley, which you can see in front of you. And the game is very simply going to be played for points based on shaken units, killed commanders and captured commanders. So, as with all of our other games, you're going to get 1 victory point for enemy units that are shaken at the end of the game, 2 victory points for enemy units that are broken, destroyed, routed, off the table at the end of the game. You will get 3 points for each commander who is killed at the end of the game.
On a really big base?
4 of them. We're going to get 3. We're going to do 3. And then you're going to get 1 point if a commander is captured at the end of the game. We'll have to have a discussion about whether or not you can kill the captured commander at the end of the game. We're going to be fighting with 3 commanders each. I've got John Neville, Marquis Montagu. I've got the Bastard of Fauconberg, and I'm bringing Warwick himself. He's fed up of his lackeys basically doing his work for him. He's actually going to turn up and hopefully not get killed in the first couple of turns. So on the opposing side, we've got the Duke of Suffolk, we've got Lord Hastings, and the Duke of Essex. Right, Earl of Essex. Going to get all the dukedoms and earldoms mixed up. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we're going to roll just first of all to see who is going to get the choice of deploying first. Whoever deploys first gets to go first. The game is going to go for 7 turns, and we will roll for an 8th. If the armies are destroyed before then, of course victory will go to the other person. In order to win, the opposing side has to, it's a draw essentially if they don't have more than a 3 victory point difference. Yep. Okay, so it's got to be more than just 1 unit killed. I mean, hopefully this is going to be a massacre. We just don't know for which side. So we'll roll to see who has the choice of deploying first. 4.
Well, you're more lucky. Yes.
Is that a 1?
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay, so it's up to you guys. Do you want to deploy first and go first, or deploy second?
What do you think? Let him go first, come down the hill?
It's got lots of cannon, maybe we should go first.
We'll go first.
You'll go first. So, okay, you guys deploy first. So we'll come back after the first 2 battles have been deployed. The 3rd battle is going to be in reserve coming on from turn 3 for both of us. So we'll come back when these guys are deployed. Right, so the armies are deployed and we're pretty much ready to get things started. So what we'll quickly do is just roll through the commanders and their abilities as we always do. So over on the Suffolk side, Miller is using William Lord Hastings, Baron Hastings. He has a strategy rating of 8, a combat bonus of +2, and his rule is Ear of the King, or that's what we've given him anyway. So Hastings is a trusted advisor and friend to Edward IV and was privy to the King's plans. He may elect 1 unit under his command to become drilled as he uses this information to his advantage. The other commanders on the Suffolk side is the Duke of Suffolk himself, John de la Pole, the 2nd Duke of Suffolk, who has a strategy rating of 8, a combat bonus of +2, and his rule is that he's a loyal Yorkist. And if you've been watching the games before, you'll know that basically that means he gets to elect 1 of his units to receive the elite 5+ rule. It's normally this very, very small unit of foot knights that Robin decides to put it on, so we'll see if that changes. And over the final commander is Henry Boucher, the 1st Earl of Essex, with a strategy rating of 8 and a command bonus of +2. Now, we've actually changed his rule, and I'll come on to why in a second. So we've given him this rule called Old Soldier. And that's Boucher saw considerable military action in France and throughout the Wars of the Roses. He was a reliable supporter of the Yorkists, and he was uncle to all of the York brothers through marriage to their aunt Isabel of Cambridge. 1 unit in Boucher's command can be designated as steady, which I can't remember off the top of my head what that does, but we'll we'll run through what all of these do. Over on the Neville side, we're going with the same two basic commanders, and of course we're bringing in the big Neville into everything. So the first commander is Thomas Neville, the Bastard of Fauconberg, who has a strategy rating of 8, a command bonus of +2, and his rule basically just lets him bring a free unit of Calais veterans with him, because he was a bit of a pirate and he's always stationed over in Calais. The second commander, who's been my general for most of the games, is John Neville, the first Marquis Montagu. He has a strategy rating of 8 and a combat bonus of +4, so he's the best fighter on the table. His special rule is that he hates the Percys, but there's no Percys on the table, so that's not going to come into play. Now, the final commander and the general of the Neville forces is Richard Neville, 16th Earl of Warwick, the man who everyone knows as the Kingmaker. Now, he has a strategy rating of 8 and a combat bonus of +2, but his special rule, we're going to see if this works. It's only the second time we've ever used him. So he has a rule called Man of Wealth and Influence. His wealth and political savvy was famous throughout Europe, and he had ties with many courts across the continent and wielded great influence. So he starts the game with 5 tokens, and just called them wealth tokens until something else becomes apparent. And he can spend these in the game in the following ways. He can spend 1 token to use an ability called No One Leaves. This just boosts the courage of his men, and he may add 1 to the result of a break test to a unit within 12 inches. And he can use this multiple times, so if he played 3 tokens, they would get a +3 bonus to a single break test. He can use 2 tokens to use an ability called I Stand With You, which means he can re-roll a failed order check for one of his units, but the second result counts and you can't re-roll it again. This is in addition to his general re-roll. However, he can't use it once the general re-roll's gone through. You can only re-roll something once. And finally, he has 2 tokens for something called Consider Your Position, which is force an enemy commander to reroll a successful order check, just to represent maybe he's paid them off a little bit there. You know, he's got a lot of earldoms and land that he can hand out. He does have a rule which it doesn't really come into this game, but we'll just read it anyway for the sake of completeness, which is the English have 2 kings, Warwick and another whose name I forget. If Warwick is included in an army, he must be the general unless that army includes a king, in which case the general. So Warwick basically thinks of himself as king, so he pretty much is. So he's not the greatest in combat, but he's got a few little tricks, so we'll see. It's quite hard to get that kind of thing onto the table. So we'll just move over now, and I'll let these guys decide where they're going to, well, explain what you've done. Because you've chose your 2 starting battles. You've chosen the Earl of Essex over here and William Hastings over here. So what's the thinking?
That Suffolk didn't want to come on straight away because that doesn't seem to be his thing. Yeah, Essex has just got your basic bill and actually no, he's got a real mix. He's got bill and bow, men at arms, no longer led by burners.
Yeah, Burners is still in a toast rack in that castle somewhere.
He's had to hire some mercenaries to bolster his forces after losing quite a few men in the castle. So he's got some Burgundian crossbowmen, handgunners, an unnamed cannon, and some light cavalry out on the flank.
And William Herbert's arrived from Wales to give him some support.
Yeah.
And then over here, no pikes.
No.
What's
pikes.
going on?
Didn't feel the pikes were very good, and they didn't earn their money. So we've just gone for 2 units of bill and bow.
Yep.
Hastings' personal guard or men at arms.
Yep.
Lord Mountjoy's men at arms, and a small unit of mounted men at arms under Lord Navy.
And there is Hastings himself. So you should say that this game we're using the force points that we've used throughout the whole thing, and this is 15 force points. So these guys have split them equally, so each of their commanders is bringing 5. I haven't split them equally. So to begin with over here we have...
Warwick doesn't like to share.
Yeah, Warwick doesn't like to share. We have Warwick's forces. So here is Warwick on my brand new command base. Video on that will be coming out soon. So Warwick has 2 small units of hand cannons, hand gunners, a single cannon, a volley gun, or a rebuilder quinn, depending on which way you want to describe it. 3 units of bill and bow. The supply wagon is just there because we thought, you know, they needed a supply wagon to bring everything up. Then over here, his brother, who the combat machine John Neville, has a single cannon. He has 3 units of Bill and Bow, which are all at the front, and 2 units of men-at-arms, including Geoffrey Gate, the murder machine from the last game, who wipes out half of the Suffolk forces. Off the table, I have the Bastard of Fauconberg, who has a standard unit of mounted knights, a standard unit of light cavalry, and his Calais veterans with him. Off the table, you guys have got the Duke of Suffolk, who's got 5 points with him as well. So the reserves will turn up on turn 3. There's no rolling, they just arrive, but they have to roll to, not arrive to turn up, you're still rolling to move on to the table. So we shall see what happens. Right, well, we're just going to get things underway, so we will go into turn 1. Okay, so stuff happened. Surprising things happened. Do you guys want to take us through it? What happened in the Suffolk movement?
All I had was light cavalry made a massive sweep around the side.
Yeah, they're threatening all my my black powder weaponry on this side, and Warwick himself.
Yeah. And then all I managed to do was just move my handgunners and my cannon forward. Everything. Then after that, it all ground to a halt.
Yep, that you failed your order roll, and you'd already used your re-roll. So Essex's forces, as you can see, swept around here, stalled a bit. Things very different over on this side. Miller advanced more in one order than he did in the entire last game.
Yes.
So what did you do?
Just did a brigade order, moved everything forward 2 moves to get getting close, to be able to get in range to fire. However, looking at what I'm about to get shooting at me.
Yeah, there's a lot of bows here. I should say, everyone, I meant to say this in the build-up, that we are using the update to the Hail Caesar adaptation. So obviously there's always a link down below to take you to this. This is the updated version that we've worked on. This has got all the changes in it that we made over the last year. New units, more commanders, I think there's 30 now, something like that in there, and also just the general rule changes that we've made just to suit things like the idea of cannons becoming isolated and things like that. And it also includes the fact that we've changed the longbow range to 24 inches, which I think we keep on forgetting to mention. So that's just pertinent because my entire front rank here is armed with longbows. So we're over to your shooting, chaps. So where do you want to start?
All I'll have is the cannon firing against the cannon.
Cannon against cannon. All right then. So let's have a look. Your cannon. We use it like black powder. It's firing at deployed. Basically, you're hitting on the 6. Because you're over half range. You're firing at deployed artillery. It's a 6 needed. No, and that's a potential misfire on turn 1. So let's get the chart out. I mean, fortunately, he's moved away from things. Let's see if Son of Lucky can do the same thing. So roll another 2. Catastrophic explosion. The cannon misfires and explodes. The crew are turned into a fine red mist, and shrapnel and bits of cannoneer rain down on nearby men. Remove the cannon as a casualty, and all units within 6 inches become disordered on a roll of a 6. How many of those units are in there?
Just not the Bill and Bow, but everyone else.
Just not the Bill and Bow. Okay, so we'll just go for the handgunners. Nope. The William Herbert's men. No. And then the other little unit. No. So no one's disordered.
Have you got an explosion?
We've got a smoke marker to chuck on him. Why did you even bother? Why even bother? Why even? That's amazing. So while Robin considers his options, Miller, what do you want to do over here?
These guys are going to shoot these ones over here. I believe they're within 24.
Okay, yep. So just double check. So 24-inch range.
Yeah,
within range. So you're just firing over half range. That's it. So you got 3 dice hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1 for marksman.
No.
Okay. One re-roll because you've got marksman. Yep. Oh yeah, it's hit, and a break test for me. So a single save of 5? 5, yep, 5. No, so 1 casualty and a straight up break test. 6. Robin, would you mind just checking that out?
Hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order.
I will hold my ground disordered.
That was these ones.
Oh, was it them?
Yep. They're getting shot next.
They're getting shot next, are they? Okay, right, hang on. There we go. So that was William Parr's unit, so they are now disordered. Okay, and who's firing next?
These guys are firing at the unit next to them.
Okay, so that's the same again. You've got 3 dice hitting on 5s.
Yes.
Okay,
Re-rolling 1, yeah.
Oh, back
In the tray. Oh, no, it was
So
2.
was 2.
There was 2, so just 2 straight up saves of 5. 2 saves of 5.
Oh, fair enough.
There we go. Any other shooting?
No, that's enough shooting.
Okay, so let's just summarise. At the end of the Suffolk turn 1, the cavalry are leading an unsupported cavalry charge up the flank. The cannon came forward and exploded. Fortunately, it didn't explode in the ranks. And Hastings is just out on his own, basically. Right, we'll go into Neville turn 1. Okay, so not a great deal. I tried to move my archers, my crossbowmen down here to form a line next to the hedge, and I failed, and then I failed the reroll, so that was all of Warwick's stuff basically done. I mean, it's not the end of the world, because I am still in range. However, it does mean that I can basically take advantage of the high ground and get in position to... But, well, I think I'm going to be receiving a charge. Because they were in column, they still got to execute 1 order. Over here, with John Neville, I've decided to not move at all and actually get a proper arrow storm off on to the forces of William Hastings, who's coming over the hill. So I'm going to start over here with John Neville, and we'll start down the end here where we've got... I can't remember who this one is now. John Conyers, and John Conyers' troops are going to fire at the heavy cavalry that are popping their heads over the hedge. They're over half range, so they will be hitting on 5s. Rerolling 1 for marksman. That's 1 hit. You have a save of 4, I think, for the knights.
The same as men at arms, isn't it?
Yeah, so save of 4. Yep, that's a 6. Absolutely fine. The next unit to shoot will be John Neville's Bill and Bow. They're going to do exactly the same thing. So 3 dice hitting on 5s. That's 1. Reroll 1 for marksman. That is 2 hits and a break test. So 2 casualties and you've got to take a break test. That's a 7. I believe you're absolutely fine. They've got the drilled rule, so yeah, no, that doesn't do anything here. But you have got 2 casualties on you. This is a small unit, so they have a stamina of 4, so they're at half now. In that case, James Harrington's unit are going to fire as well. We know they're in range, so I'm hitting on 5s. That's another break test. Rerolling 1. 1 hit, so 1 save of 4.
Yep.
Yep, and break test. 7, they're absolutely fine. Finally, the cannon. The cannon is going to fire at that unit directly in front of it. Could you see if you're within 18 inches?
At them, yeah?
Yep.
Just over.
Just over, okay, so it's a single dice hitting on a 5, so it's over half range. Yep, so that's a hit and a break test. It's an automatic break test anyway. You suffer that range. So it's just a single dice save of a 6. Nope, so 1 casualty and a break test. 5.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, I need it.
Shooting. Hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order.
Hold ground disordered.
Hold ground disordered. Okay, just what we normally do. We just shuffle the bases up a little bit to make them look disordered. Now we'll move into the shooting from Warwick's side over here. So we'll fire with this unit first. They're within 24 inches of those guys there. So it's 3 shots over half range, hitting on 5s. That's 1 hit. Reroll 1 for marksman. 1 hit, 1 save of 5. No, 1 casualty. And then the disordered unit will do the same. So they're -1 for being disordered, -1 for being over half range. So they are hitting on 6s. Rerolling 1. Oh. So the reroll. Nope, they all missed. I don't know if I want to risk firing the cannon next to Warwick. Ah, bugger it. We will. So the cannon is going to fire at the... He can't really. He's going to have to shoot because it's not going to be clear because of them. So he's going to be over. Is he within 36?
He's in 36.
All right, so it's just a single 5 up. That's a 5. So you need a save of 6. No, that's 1 dead. And a break test because it's a black powder weapon. Oh dear.
Okay, so I'll do it. Break if shaken, otherwise retreat disordered.
Okay, so they retreat disordered. Definitely not shaken. So 1 casualty. There we go. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Right. Well, Robin moves that around. Just have a look. There's the battlefield at the end of turn 1. We'll go into Suffolk turn 2. Right, so that's the end of Suffolk Command Phase 2. Robin, what happened over on your flank?
Light cavalry only got the 1 move, so they just kind of failed to get across the hedge. Spears getting stuck in the foliage and stuff.
Horses weren't having it.
I the flank charge, but obviously now I'm going to get some crossbow shots. But
hopefully
we'll get there in the end. The Bill and Bow unit marched up to join Hastings' line. And then everyone else was obviously put off by the explosion.
The
a few seconds before,
Essex is just stoking the fire of the cannon.
And wasn't able to move. So
fantastic. And then over here, well, we might as well start over here. The heavy cavalry managed to actually get the charge off. So they are all my closing shots. I got 3 hits and had to have him have a break test. He saved all 3 and passed the break test. So that they charged home. So that's going to be interesting. Then you've part of your lines moved forward, hasn't it?
It's all moved up except for the disorder. It's just they've all kind of broken to different directions. These guys didn't manage to get as far as I wanted them. I wanted a bit of a line, but they're a bit all over the place. But everyone can still shoot, so I'm happy.
All right. So, and on that note, we'll talk about the shooting. So we got your cat. No, we don't. We've got some Bill and Bow. Okay, so who are they going to fire? So you got to go for
the crossbowmen.
Who are in column as well. So you're going to now we keep on getting this wrong. It's if you're within 12, if you're over 12 inches, it's -1. It's not half range. It's just that 12 inches happens to be half range for a lot of things. So are you within 12 inches?
No. I'm a straight, but no.
No. Okay. So in that case, you are hitting on 5s, and you get to reroll 1 for marksman.
No, just 1 hit.
Was it 1 hit? So 1 hit. I'm in a column now, so that reduces my save to 6. So 1 casualty. Handgunners.
No, just out of range.
Just out of range. And that's over there. So it's all over to Hastings for shooting. So we've got this unit down here. They you want to go with first?
Yeah, we'll go with these, and we'll shoot some more into
this unit here. Well, yeah, because they're equidistant, then you can select them. Okay, you're definitely within 12, so you've got 3 dice hitting on 4s. Reroll 1. No, so I need a single save of 5. Yep.
I'll do. These guys are still in range, so they'll shoot at the same
Yep,
guys.
so they're firing over the heads of their own men, so at -1 over half, so you're looking for 6s.
Rerolling 1. Just 1 again.
Just a 1, and because you needed a 6 to hit, that doesn't cause a break test because you needed 2 6s, so just 1 was it?
Yep.
1's over 5. No, 1 casualty. And that is the end of the shooting. So we're going to have to just go into the combat. So we'll just work out what the numbers are, and then we'll come back. Miller has charge of his small unit. He is going to get 7 attacks on the charge, and he's going to be hitting on 3s because he gets a +1 charge bonus. He also has the tough fighters rule, so he'll get to re-roll 1. I have 6 attacks going back. I also have a unit of Bill and Bow in support, which will have 3 attacks, so I'm going to have 9 in total. Now, I don't think it's really come up since about 4 or 5 games ago. Second game, but these green tokens is the little rule that we've added for blown horses, and essentially they're a bit like reload tokens that we're using on our cannons. Miller can use normal orders when he's outside of combat to remove those, and while he has a blown horse counter on him, he cannot get the high clash value for the horses. He'll always fight with his sustain. So essentially, it's just a way of showing that the horses, like new horses, are being bought up by the pages, lances are being redistributed, and you know that's it just stops them just running around the battlefield. He can still charge, he can still fight. It's just he will use his sustained value instead of the higher clash value. Anyway, we'll crack back on. So Miller, you've got 7 dice hitting on freeze, and you get to reroll 1.
Yeah.
5.
5.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. I have 6 dice initially, hitting on 4s. And
did you reroll one for Tough Fighter?
Yeah.
Oh.
so there we go. So that's 4, and then my 3 in support, also hitting on 4s. So 6.
6 saves. Yeah?
You need 6 saves of 4. And you get to reroll 1 for stubborn.
I'll do that one. Okay, so 3 casualties.
So 3 casualties, and I need, what was it, 4 saves?
5.
5.
Yep.
And you have lances, don't you? Which is -1, I believe.
No, so one follows square or wedge.
No, they don't.
No.
Okay, so no, they don't. That's something else. So I need 5 saves of 5. 3. So I suffered 2 casualties. So you guys lost the combat by 1. So Miller, it's a break test, 2d6 -1. Result of 6, I believe, is going to be a retreat in good order, but we'll just wait for Robin.
Give ground in good order.
Give ground in good order. Okay, so you just...
Oh, sorry, the cavalry. Give ground disordered.
Give ground disordered. Okay, so you just go back 9 inches disordered. And you are now shaken as well. Okay, so just to here we are at the end of Suffolk turn 2. The cavalry charge over there didn't quite sort of do the damage that I think they wanted it to do, and so that unit is now shaken. So they're not going to be charging until they've rallied a little bit. But overall, they're still in a good position. And we'll go into Neville turn 2. So the Neville turn was interesting. So we'll start over here with Warwick. He managed to turn his crossbowmen to face off against these guys here that are coming to threaten the flank. Over here, the Rebuilder Quinn has rolled down the hill a little bit, so I can give some fire onto them. And my hand gunners or hand cannons that have moved down, but because they've moved, they can't shoot. We've separated the hand gunners into almost 2 calibers: a heavy version and a small version. And these are the heavier ones who can't move and shoot, so they've just moved. The cannon just got rid of 1 reload token. And then Warwick has moved over here. One of Warwick's units under John Constable has successfully charged into Hastings' men here. I did try to get a unit up in support, only it failed. I've also spent 4 out of Warwick's 5 tokens, so he's only got 1 left, so all he can do now is affect a break test near him. We'll have to see if that was a mistake. Over here under John Neville, I decided to be fairly bold and charge with Henry Neville's unit and try and contact this unit here. My thinking was, because I was going to be charging through Hastings, he would have to retreat into that unit and then I could kill him. Charge didn't come off. They got 2 moves. Because they moved through James Harrington's unit, we tested for disorder and they are both unfortunately disordered as a result of that. Cannon reloaded 1. John Neville himself has moved up, and over here I've just basically formed a bit of a horseshoe, a bit of a crescent of archers to try and deal with these knights and the unit that's threatening me there. I've left Jeffrey Gate in reserve, so we will see what's going to happen, because they're going to have reinforcements coming on in their next turn, and my reinforcements come on afterwards, so this is going to be a key turn. So we'll go into the shooting. We'll start with... I'm going to start with the crossbows, who are going to get 2 dice shooting at the horsemen, and I'm going to be -1 because of the cover, so they're going to be hitting on 5s. Hitting on 5s. So it's 2 saves of... Well, normally it's a save of 6, but you get +1 for the cover. We are applying it, even though, you know, horses are large. So 2 saves of 5. So 2 casualties and a break test.
Hold ground disordered or retreat in good order. I will retreat in...
Retreat in good order? So a 12-inch retreat. Okay.
At least puts me at long range with a crossbow.
Alright, and the next thing I'm going to fire with is the Rebuilder Now, I don't think this has actually been seen in a game yet, so just to let everyone know, the volley gun is fired, it creates a shower of iron shot, and it has a range of 24 inches, always fires with 2 dice, and if you're hit by it, you have to take a break test, and then it gets 2 reload markers on it. So the Rebuilder, like all of the artillery on here, if it's required to take any kind of break test and get 7 or less, then it goes. So we're looking at 2 dice. Is it within 12?
It's double the chance to blow up, isn't it? With 2 dice.
It is.
Yeah.
Double the chance to blow up.
So hitting to blow up, is it?
4s.
Oh.
Aha.
So 1 hit and one misfire. so
hitting a break test.
So hitting a break test. So one dead and a break test of 6. And then while he's doing that, my misfire result is it blows up. And he's next to Warwick.
Oh! I didn't even see that.
It doesn't... It only makes disorder, doesn't it? It doesn't...
Oh yeah, only does disorder. Yeah, that's fine. It's the bombard.
Essex was standing next to mine.
It's the bombard. We'll just... but I do have to roll for that. So you... Go on then, Miller. You roll for... Unless Robin wants to... Robin, do you want to roll? Because some of the mine's blown up.
Bit of revenge, go on.
So on my hand cannons, on a roll of 6, they're disordered. No! They're disordered. And my...
They're disordered as well.
Unbelievable.
Now the 6s are coming out.
What about that?
What about the cannon? No, that's fine. And this unit here, fine. So you disordered. So that's blown up, and 2 units of.
I've got some explosions.
You got some explosions. I have my own. I have my own explosions.
I'm going to give ground in good order because.
Give ground in good order. Okay. Well, that was terrible.
Amazing.
So. Right, we better just gather ourselves and then we'll be back. Okay, so just gathered ourselves after that. So the unit here is going to fire at the unit that's just retreated in good order with its 1 hit from the... Because they got a casualty as well, didn't they?
Yes.
From them. Warwick doesn't count as intervening because they're commanders, so... It's just, you know, that's how it works. So I'm going to be hitting on 5s. So 3 dice, needing 5s to hit, re-rolling 1 for marksman. That's not good. No hits. Over next, so that's the end of Warwick's shooting. So we'll go into the shooting over here from John Conyers. So we'll start with James Harrington's disordered unit. He's going to... Actually, no, we won't. We'll start over here and we will fire at the knights. So that's going to be 3 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. Looking for 4s, re-rolling 1. That's 3 hits. You need 3 saves of 4.
Yep.
All right, you can leave now. The unit next to them, John Neville's own men, they're going to fire. They need exactly the same. Looking for 4s, re-rolling 1. That's a break test. So 2 hits, 2 saves of 4.
Yep.
And a break test. 10,
So
you're
it's
fine.
No longer shaken now? He's passed the break test?
No,
not
it just has to be. It's morale.
Yeah, sorry,
test.
yeah.
So James Harrington's unit's going to fire.
Negatives for the disorder.
Negatives for disorder, so 5s. Re-rolling 1. None. That was a terrible round of shooting from the Neville forces. What are you playing at? So it's still very much up in the air. So we'll just go into the combat, and there is 1 combat to resolve, which is my charge down here. So I have 6 dice hitting on 3s. Miller has 6 dice hitting on 4s. Right, hitting on 3s, no rerolls. 3 hits. Hitting on 4s, 3 hits. 3 saves of 5 for the Neville forces. 1 save, and 3 saves of 5 for Hastings. None. So three. So you lost the combat by 1. So you need to take a break test. 2d6 minus 1. They're fine. They're just gonna roll on. So you've got 3 casualties and I've got 2. Okay, so there we are. That's the end of Neville turn 2. We're going into Suffolk turn 3, and their reinforcements are going to arrive. It's a bit up in the air in a minute. In terms of points, I've got 2 for their cannon blowing up. They've got 2 for mine blowing up. And there's 1 shaken unit. So technically, the Neville forces are in the lead by 1 point at the minute. But I think it's really going to come down to a bit of a scrum in this area here. Anyway, let's go into the next Suffolk turn. Okay, so there we go. Quite the end of a big, well, an important Suffolk turn. So you guys want to chat through what happened?
Essex, not a lot. So it got the charge off, which is great.
Yep.
Against the disordered crossbowmen.
So the red dots are casualties for Robin. So just so you know, they're not any other kind of tokens.
And then, unfortunately, after that, failed my orders for anything else in Essex's
entire force.
I really wanted to charge the disordered handgunners.
Yeah, I've received quite a few charges this turn, I've got to say. And then over here, the next thing to turn... Well, actually, no, we'll go over here because...
Hastings made space.
Hastings made some room.
Hi.
So the men-at-arms managed to charge into the disordered unit of men-at-arms, followed up by support from the bill and bow, and Hastings has joined the men-at-arms.
Yep.
These men-at-arms tried to charge the bill and bow, but they only got so far, and the cavalry made a disordered
retreat. That's it. And this combat's going to roll on from last turn, but now that room has been made, over the hill comes the reinforcements.
Yeah, Suffolk's arrived. Just 3 units of bill and bow, one of which is just peasants he's dragged from somewhere, not even given a flag or anything. Sorry, 4 units of bill and bow, and is
that the elite unit?
His elite.
That's the elite unit. So that's an elite 5+, isn't it?
100% of his men at arms.
That's it, because everything else was in the castle. There we go. There is your elite. So there we go. That is the command phase. So it's the shooting. What do you guys fancy doing?
Handguns into your disorder.
Handguns down there, over 12 inches.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, it's 2 dice hitting on 5s.
Aha.
1 hit, they don't have marksman, and so it's going to be 1 save of 6. No, so 1 casualty and a break test. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, hold your ground disordered or retreat.
I'll just hold my ground disordered. I'll just stay where I am.
Then that bill and bow unit.
Also at them?
Yeah, they're just over 12.
Just over 12. Okay, so you're looking for 5s, re-rolling 1. Oh dear. 2 saves of 6. That's 1 more casualty in the break test. Break test is 5.
Can they fire over their head, go up the hill, or are they too close? They're closer than 6 inches. So
over on that side, it would be them. It would be them. So if they're within 20, you measure from the middle of the unit.
No.
So
no, there'll be no more.
Did these guys shoot?
No, they can't shoot over there. They're too close.
No, we need to be a little bit. So you've got to have like a bit of a 6 inch.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, I think you need to be 1 move down the hill.
Well, that's what we're gonna say. So there we go. So there is the site of the battle. So now there's just a lot of combat. So who do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Suffolk's combat over there with
my 1 combat, and then you've got some dice working out to do over there.
Okay, so Robin, your horses get 5 dice on the clash, and my crossbowmen get 3 dice, which is not a lot. Okay, so yep, you have 5 dice hitting on 3s.
5.
Oh dear, I have 3 dice hitting on 4s because I wasn't disordered.
Probably on the combat.
3. You need 3 saves of 6.
Oh, here we go.
That's 3 dead. I need 3 saves of 6 as well.
5, isn't it?
No, 6 for crossbows.
No, as in 5 saves.
Oh, 5 saves. Oops. That's 5 casualties. So
You lost by 2.
I've lost the combat by 2. So 2d6.
What's your stamina?
My stamina is 4, like yours. So how many? You did 5, so I'm shaken. But I don't think I'm going anywhere. So we're both shaken. So we'll just get the casualties added on, and then we'll go and have a look at the combat over here. Okay, so which combat over here do you want to start with? We'll go with this one, yeah?
We'll start with this one.
Okay, so I won that one. I think we did anyway. Won the last round of combat. So I'm hitting on 3s, you're hitting on 4s. That's 6 dice each. And let's see what happens. So looking for 4s for Miller. That's 3. And looking for 3s for me. Is not
2.
great. Only 2. So Miller needs 2 saves of 5.
No,
2 casualties. And I need 3 saves of 5. 2 casualties. Okay, so that's 2 apiece. That means now that Miller is shaken and I'm 1 off being shaken. However, no break test needs to be taken because he wasn't shaken at the start of the combat. Yep, okay, so now we're going to do the biggie, yeah? Okay, so my one is easy. Henry Neville's got 7 dice, but he's disordered, so he's hitting on 5s. But he rerolls 1 for tough fighters. You've got a men-at-arms unit at the front that gets 7 dice, hitting on 3s for charging. You're supported by Bill and Bo, who are hitting on 4s, 3 dice hitting on 4s, but Hastings has joined the men-at-arms unit, giving his 2 dice. So your men-at-arms have 9 dice hitting on 3s. So we'll get all your rolls out the way first. So you've got 9 dice, first of all, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1. You get to re-roll 1.
Should we hit on 3s?
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6. And then you've got 3 dice hitting on 4s. So 7 altogether. I have 7 dice hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1. I'm going to re-roll 1. So 3. So you need 3 saves of 4, and you can re-roll 1. Gets to re-roll the 1. There's going to be no casualties. Oh, one casualty. I need, how many was it? 7?
Yep.
Oh, 7 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 as well. Oh dear. That's not good. 2, so I have taken 5 casualties. But before we work out the final casualties, we roll to see if anything has happened to brave William Hastings. He has a combat bonus of +2, so I roll 2d6, and if it comes 10 or more, then something's happened to him. No, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. So we'll just get the casualties applied and then come back. So many casualties. Right, Miller has won the combat by 4, and I am shaken. However, I am going to use Warwick's final point to add 1 to my break test result. So effectively, Miller, I'm only add -3 essentially to my roll. So 2d6 -3. I need something nice and big. And 6 overall. I think it's a retreat disordered.
Hold your ground disordered or retreat and good.
I'm going to hold my ground disordered. I'm going to try and hold things up there because just like those guys had, I've got some reinforcements coming on now. So that is the end of the turn, and it's quite a scrum. So we've got shaken units over here. It's a bit up for grabs in the middle because we've all got fresh units that we're feeding into the meat grinder. So let's go into Neville turn 3. Okay, so everything's charged. Everything is charged. Let's start over here. I started with John Neville, and as you can see, look at this mass combat down here. So over here, this combat is grinding on from last turn. I've chosen not to really feed anyone into it. Over here, Geoffrey Gate pulled off a charge down into Lord Mountjoy. Didn't disorder the unit he was going through, who have now moved up in support. And over here, this unit has moved up in support, and John Neville has joined the combat. So I'll be getting quite a few dice over there. I think it's going to be about 15 or 16. Over here, this unit retreated in disorder. This unit here managed to reload. Down here, John Constable they were still in combat, rather. William Parr has moved down to support. This unit is moved in. They are not supporting. They're staying out of combat. They are going to be shooting. Warwick repositioned slightly. Over here, this cannon reloaded. This combat's just going to roll on. And then over here, my reinforcements have arrived with the Bastard of Fauconberg commanding the cavalry wing. The light cavalry managed to get off 3 moves and charge in the third, entering the board and charging straight into those handgunners. Closely followed by 3 moves off of the heavy cavalry under Lord Scrope of Bolton. Bastard of Fauconberg himself moved up the hill, and then his Calais veterans marching in a column to the battlefield. So there we go. There is the overview of what's going on at the minute. Everything happening sort of in the centre right of my my sort of battlefield. Right, we'll just get on with shooting. I don't think there's going to be a lot, but there's going to be a lot of combat. Okay, so let's do some shooting. So over here, the guys on the high ground are going to fire. My disordered unit are going to fire over the heads at the unit of knights. So they're going to get 3 dice. They're going to be hitting on 6s. So I'm going to need 2 6s to force a break test. Rerolling 1. Ooh. Oh, so just 1 save of 4. Yep, absolutely fine. That was not what I wanted. The cannon is going to fire over the heads of everyone into Suffolk's men at the back there. So he's definitely over 12. And he's -1 for firing over the heads. So he's hitting on a 6. It's a miss. 2 more reload tokens. The unit here, which isn't part of the combat engagement, is going to fire over there. I think he's just out of 12, but can we check? Yep. Okay, so he gets 3 dice hitting on 5s, rerolling 1. All missed. And the final... Oh no, my hand cannons here are going to fire. Now the hand cannons can't move and shoot. They get 2 dice, and they are going to be hitting on 5s, I believe.
They're disordered as well.
They're disordered, so it's going to be 6s. So 2 dice needing 6s to hit. Nope. And then the last cannon is going to fire over there at that unit as well, over the heads of everybody over half range. It's a 6. Oh no, it's going to blow up as well. Huh? No, it's cracks in the barrel. So he gets some extra reloads or something. I'll work that out in a minute. So that was not a great round of shooting. Let's hope the combat is going to go a bit better. Okay, so we're going to start with the combat on the hill with the light cavalry charging Robin's handgunners. I've got a full unit, so a standard unit, so I'm going to get 7 attacks hitting on 3s. He's going to have 2 attacks coming back, hitting on 4s. So I'm looking for 3s. There's no rerolls. That's 4. So 4 hits. Robin's looking for 4s. That's 1 hit. I need a single save of 6. No, so I've got 1 casualty. You need 4 saves of 6. No, so you are rolling 2d6 minus 3 for your break test. 7 minus 3 is 4. Break of shaken. Yep. 4, yep. So they have broken. So I will make a sweeping advance into William Herbert's unit at the back. So we'll carry on into them. There we go. And we'll fight a fresh round of combat. Okay, so Robin gets 7 dice hitting on 4s. I get 7 dice hitting on 3s for the charge. And is Essex going to join in?
Is he? Can I? Yeah, one.
Yeah. So you're going to get 9 dice hitting on 4s, and you have tough fighter, so you can re-roll 1. So I'm looking for 3s. That's 5 hits, and you are looking for 4s, re-rolling 1.
6 hits.
Okay. Well, I might as well guess because I figured this unit was something terrible was going to happen to it. I need 6 saves of 6. None. 6 casualties. You need 5 saves of 4. You get to reroll 1 for stubborn.
Oh dear. 3.
3. But now we're going to roll for Essex, who adds 2. So if this comes up as a 10, something's happened to him. Nope. So you lost 3. I lost 6. I've lost to combat by 3. So 2d6 minus 3.
You're shaking now, isn't
4. So they're gone.
They are gone.
They are gone as well. So they got the hill. They put so they mowed through 1 unit, and then they've put quite a few casualties on that unit at the back. Right, we'll get tidied up. This is a little bit of an opening now over there. We'll have to see what these guys are going to do next turn to try and plug it. So down here, we'll carry on with this combat here, which is the brave crossbowmen against the light cavalry. So the light cavalry are going to have 3 attacks, and I've got 3 attacks as well. So I'm disordered, so I'm hitting on. Well, we're both disordered and shaken. We're both going to be hitting on 5s. Who won the last round?
No, it was a complete draw.
It was a complete draw. Okay.
I'm the sword. I'm just shaking.
You're shaken. So we're both hitting on 5s. Right. So we're both hitting on 5s.
Good.
1. You need a single save of 6. No, 1 casualty, so you've lost to combat by 1. So you're 2d6 minus what? 5. Oh, retreat disordered, I think.
Oh no, break if shaken.
Break if shaken. Oh dear. Okay, so they are gone. Okay, so they've gone. So next up, we'll deal with this combat here that was here last turn. So Miller is shaken, so he's going to have 6 dice hitting on 5s. I am, because it was a draw last turn? It was a complete draw again, wasn't it? So I am not shaken yet, so I've got 6 dice hitting on 4s, and I'm supported with 3 dice hitting on 4s, so I might as well just roll them all together. So I've got 9 dice hitting on 4s, you've got 6 dice hitting on 5s. Looking for 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so 6 saves, or I do an attack?
Do your attacks first. You're looking for 5s.
2.
2. I need 2 saves of 5. 2 more casualties, so I am also now shaken. And you need 6 saves of 5. 5.
Okay.
So you've lost the combat by 3. So it's 2d6 minus 3.
They're gone.
1. They have broken, but my unit is also shaken to pieces now. Right, okay, so that's the combat here involving William Hastings. So Miller won the last round, so he's hitting on 3s with this unit at the front. So the unit at the front gets 7 dice, gets plus 2 dice for Hastings, so he's got 9 dice hitting on 3s with him, and then 3 dice hitting on 4s for the Bill and Bow. I have 7 dice coming back hitting on 5s because I am shaken. I'm looking for 5s, and I'm re-rolling 1 for tough fighters. That's terrible. That's none. None.
Oh no.
None. So these ones need... So 9 dice needing 3s.
Don't fuck this.
Oh, that's a lot of 2s.
And you get to re-roll 1.
So that's
4.
yeah?
Yeah, 4. And now you have 3 dice needing 4s. 5. Okay, so I'm the only one who needs to be saving, so I need 5 saves of 4. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn. That was those 2. So 2. So I've lost the combat by 3. So it's 2d6 minus 3. 3. They are gone, so they're already shaken. So this unit has gone now. There's no sweep in advance because it wasn't a charge, but there are some holes appearing now in the formations. Right, and then we're going to go on to this combat over here. So again, let's just get tidied up. Okay, so as you can see, there are some gaps now appearing in the lines. So over here, let's do the big combat. So Geoffrey Gate here has charged into Mountjoy. Geoffrey Gate is a unit of men-at-arms who have a clash of 7. He's been joined by his master, John Neville, who's got a +4 attack bonus, meaning I have 11. So to begin with, I have 11 dice hitting on 3s, and I've got 2 separate supports, because I've got 1 from the rear and 1 from the side. So then 6 dice hitting on 4s. So 17 dice all together, 11 hitting on 3s and 6 hitting on 4s. Okay, so the 11 on 3s also get to re-roll 1 for tough fighters. And
That's 11 hits.
that's 11 hit. That's 10 hits.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That's 10 hits.
So you got 1 more dice too. Oh, there.
So 11 hits.
You can re-roll one.
That's alright, I think I'll be alright. So that's 11 hits, and then 6. Well, this is the most dice we've ever rolled in the combat, I think. 6 on 4.
Like 40k.
That's all of them.
my
No, oh no, I get to. No,
that's
I can't re-roll that one. So that's 16. That's 16 hits.
Okay, so 7 attacks.
7 attacks back on 4s. You get to re-roll 1.
So 3.
So 3. So I need 3 saves of 4, and I get to re-roll 1 for stubborn.
I didn't see that one.
How many saves will do?
16.
So I got 2 dead.
Yeah, 16 dice from set. That's one.
So 6. So here you go. 16 dice, needing 4s, re-rolling 1. This could be easier just as so.
Casuals.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you can re-roll 1. 7 dead.
That's exactly on the odds. It's just unfortunately it's a lot of dice.
It's just a lot of dice. Okay, so you've lost by 5. Oh, hang on, before we do it, you get to roll for matey boy. So roll 2d6.
Yeah, 10.
Yes, he did. All right, roll another d6. This could be bad. John Neville. So I could have won this combat, but John Neville might have gone down.
6.
6 on the commander. Now I can't remember if this is.
I can't remember round it.
I can't remember if it's 1 is
So I
bad
think
or
normally
6
it's
is
defender
good.
rolling, so I think it's okay.
It's a 6. So light wound. The commander has taken a flesh wound or glancing blow. Reduce their combat by -1. The commander then fights on. If it's reduced to 0, they're killed. You needed it the other way around.
It does add 1 to your
It's
combat
like-
resolution, though, doesn't it?
So no, because he's not
Oh,
dead.
it's
He's not a
dead.
casualty. So I
least
did
it's not
7.
4 dice,
So
that's
you're
great.
rolling 2d6 -5 for your break test.
Yes.
Couldn't have got
So
any worse.
6. They're shaken. So I think you've done everything you can do.
Give ground in good order.
Give ground in good order. Yeah. All right. Okay. So they go back 6 inches.
Yes. I didn't write the
Give
wrong
ground in
part.
good order.
Right. I'll bring
Right.
it Priestley and be like, oh, you got that wrong.
Okay, so there we are. That's the end of a very, very brutal turn. It's very much up in the air. Not entirely sure where we are on the points at the minute. So I prefer that. I like sort of keeping it as a bit of a mystery. Over here, cavalry sort of punched through and then sort of filtered away. But we've got some heavy cavalry coming up. I'm not quite sure what's going on in sort of the Black Powder Park there. Centre, I've won this combat. Miller's won that combat. I've won that combat. But I am quite concerned about the fresh troops that are on the horizon. Anyway, we will go into Suffolk turn 4. Okay, so a bit of a sort of a reconsolidation going on here. And I think Robin's just realised something. So Robin, what's going on?
Alright, managed to finally charge the handgunners after toing and throwing a lot. I'm going to wipe them out.
Yeah, no closing
I'm
fire.
gonna get rid of all this section of shooty things, that's my plan. Crossbowmen, finally remember they're being paid. Cavalry gone, so they've marched up to shoot at the
big scary armoured knights.
yeah, and then they've just moved forward because they're going to get charged anyway, so they may as well have a bit of space to tactically retreat into behind
Yeah.
them. And then I failed Suffolk.
Suffolk's done what Suffolk done best, and he's just
Suffolk has a really big force of like 5.
Yes, he's actually got the most he's ever had. It's just they don't like him. Over here, Miller, what's Hastings done?
So obviously none of these guys can do anything because these guys are shaken.
Yeah, and these
and
guys
if
were
retreat-
shaken, weren't they?
These guys have been rallied by Hastings at the end of the term. He's come around and joined
Yeah.
them. And these guys have just used their initiative to charge
To
the
charge-
flank of...
You charged the front unit, haven't you?
Yep.
So we've just got to work out. So I can only fight with half my attacks, rounding up, so that'll be 4. And then if this unit can support, if a unit in front, so I think you probably can.
We'll just do half the attacks.
We'll just say half the attack, so 2. So 2. All right. Okay. So we'll go with shooting. Where do you guys want to start?
I think I can see past them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's absolutely.
That's what
fine.
I thought. I thought I suddenly marched in front.
Oh,
of them.
absolutely fine. Absolutely
So
fine.
just 2 shots from there.
2 shots, hitting on
Fives, 'cause I'm
5s.
Over 12 inches.
No.
Right, here.
So the closest unit I imagine is going to be these fellas here.
Yeah, so
Yep, so it's going to be at long range, so you're going to be hitting on 5s.
re-rolling one for...
Marksman? No.
Is it raining and my bowstrings are all got wet?
It's the tears of the men that are holding them because they can't move.
Okay, so that's a minute armed unit, so... Oh, there's a bit of bow unit, so yes, I'm going to have 2 units worth of...
Shooting at these guys here so with all the casualties on them left over from last turn. Okay, so you're going to be hitting on 5s for the first lot. Reroll 1.
Oh, that's what we wanted.
Oh,
that was the important thing.
That was the important one. So that it's a break test. I've got excess casualties of.
Save first, could you?
I do need to save first of 5. Yeah, fine. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 casualties. So -2 to this roll. 4. I believe that's a break if shaken, but it is for a ranged attack, so it might not be.
Break if... Oh no, retreat disordered.
Retreat disordered, and they're going to retreat for that unit, so that unit becomes disordered on a 1, 2, or 3. No, they're fine. So no, retreat disordered. I'm not sure you wanted that, but really, hang on 2 seconds.
Cleared up all your shoot.
Just in range to shoot, so that other unit firing the one behind. So same again, you're hitting on 5s. Another break test. And 2 saves of 5. Ooh. 2 casualties and a break test. Absolutely fine. So they've taken 4 casualties now. There we go. Is that all of the shooting?
Yes. I believe so.
Okay, so we're just into the combat. I'm going to chuck him into the combat because why not? So he's going to be involved. So I'm going to get... So we'll work out you first. You get 7 dice hitting on 3s.
Yep.
And 3 on 4s.
And then 3 on 4s. You're fighting in the flank. Okay, so he's going to get 7 attacks into my flank that are hitting on 3s, followed by 3 attacks hitting on 4s. I'm fighting to my flank, which is -1, and I can only go with half my dice. So this unit's going to get 4 dice hitting on 5s. And the unit behind, who are in support, are going to get 2 dice hitting on 5s as well. But he is in with the unit at the front, and he's got a light wound, so he gets 3 dice. So it puts them back up to 7. So it's going to be quite tight. So I get 7 dice on 5s, and then 2 dice on 5s. Okay, so this is for your troops at the front. So you've got 7 needing 3s, re-rolling 1.
That's not so good. So 2.
So 2 hits, and then sorry,
and then 3 for the support.
3 for the support hitting on 4s. No re-rolls. So that's 4. I have, because of John Neville being in there, I've got 7 hitting on 5s, re-rolling 1. Re-rolling 1.
4. 5.
So 5, and then 2 hitting on 5s. No. So you need 5 saves of 4. Get to re-roll 1. So 3 dead, and I need 4 saves. Is it 4?
Yep.
4 saves of 4, re-rolling 1.
Oh.
So 2 dead.
So you lose by 1.
So and he might not lose by 1 because we've got a roll for John.
Yeah,
so can you roll for John Neville 2d6? No, he's absolutely fine. So yes, you've lost by 1. So 2d6 minus 1. Oh, no. So no, that's absolutely it. So we'll apply the casualties, and that's going to grind on. I can reposition, can't I? Now after the next turn.
Yeah, I'll check.
We'll double check. Sure. But anyway, that's where we are at the end of Suffolk turn 4. So we'll go into Neville. Oh no, sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Well, hang on. We just need to apply those casualties. So how many did you?
I got
overwhelming force doesn't necessarily work. So. 4 hits.
4 hits, and I'm looking for 4s. No hits. So 4 saves of 6 for me. 3 casualties. I am now shaken. 10. I lost to combat by 3, so 7. I think I might fight on.
And I give ground in good order.
Give ground in good order. Right, okay, so we'll get all of this sorted out and then come back. Okay, so there we are at the end of the turn. There definitely has been quite a few units leaving the field. 2 of mine have been destroyed. I don't know how many of the Suffolk units have been destroyed in total yet. We've got bits of cannon everywhere, shaken units across the board, and also the commanders are now starting to get stuck in. So anyway, we will go into the next Neville turn. Okay, so an interesting turn. So over here, my unit under John Conyers has just charged into Mountjoy's unit, so hopefully that will get rid of them. Over here, we've decided, or our interpretation of the rules is that I can't turn to face, that I have to carry on fighting to the flank. But over here, I got this unit involved as well on the back, so they're now not supporting. So this is all just one massive engagement. So we'll have to figure out what's going to happen over there. But we'll do that in a bit. Over here, I just use initiative moves to move forward, cutting off these units from the support of Suffolk. I managed to reload my cannon. Warwick then failed an order. Well, he didn't fail the order. I wanted these guys to charge into them. He didn't get that off, so they've just pivoted a little bit. Up here, disorderly retreat with the crossbowmen, so I could just get away from all of the bill and bow that are coming up there. So I am going to get some shots going down there, but not as many as I'd like. Over here, I wanted the Calais veterans to come and actually take position behind the hedge and give fire on that bill and bow unit, but they didn't want to. And then the thing that hopefully is going to tip the balance is Lord Scrope's unit of heavy cavalry has smashed into William and Richard Herbert, and they're hopefully going to break through them, and I'm going to, hopefully, the idea, roll up that line. So we'll go into shooting. So, where to start? I think we'll start with this unit at the front. Why don't we just see who's nearer? Is it Fitzwalter or...
16.
So those guys are fire going straight ahead. It's over 12 inches, so I'm hitting on 5s. Get to reroll 1. Good job. That's 1 hit and a break test. So save a 5.
No.
1 casualty and a break test.
Whoa!
Son of a...
Okay, so yes, that's the only.
Is this what it was like watching when I played last?
Yes, this is the only way that a unit can run from one of these break tests caused by a 6 if their offensive is on a double 1. So you can see it is possible. You know, those range they just didn't fancy it. They were clearly freshly called up. Didn't like the hail of arrows. I'm really sorry. I'm not. Over here, these guys are going to fire into them. There's no bonus for being at 6 inches on shooting, so it's just going to be 3 dice, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. That's 2 saves of 5. 2 more casualties. The crossbowmen are going to fire into them as well, and so that's going to be 2 dice, hitting on 4s. No, 5s, because they're shaken. No. Hand cannons can't fire. You just see, I doubt that's 24. Just have a little check for me, just for this unit here.
No.
No. Okay, so no, that is all the shooting. So it's into hand-to-hand combat. So we'll start with the cavalry. Okay, so the cavalry have a clash of 9. Robin's troops have a sustained of, well, a clash of 7. So I get 7 dice hitting on... No, sorry, I get 9 dice hitting on 3s. You get 7 dice hitting on 4s. And we both get to reroll 1 because we're tough fighters. Eight.
I don't have that many dice.
Okay, you're looking for 4s. To reroll 1.
3.
3. Okay, I need 3 saves of 4. Done. You need 8 saves of 4. You get to reroll 1.
4 casualties.
4 casualties.
Enough to shake them.
Oh yes, because you've already taken some, haven't you, from the light cavalry that just exploded against them. So you are shaken, so you're 2d6 minus 4.
I am steady.
You are. That means you ignore the first 6.
Yeah, for
from shooting.
That's it.
So down to 5. Oh, it could be
I
close.
know what the results meant by now.
It's break if shaken, isn't it?
No, it's give ground disordered.
Oh.
Give ground disordered. Thing is, I'm going to sweeping advance straight into you, so you're going to go back 6 inches, and I'm just going to follow you. Okay, so the sweeping advance has come off now. As per our rules, these horses are now blown, so I'm not going to get the big clash value that I got before. So I'm fighting with 7 dice, and I'm going to be hitting on 3s again. Robin is going to have 7 dice, and he is going to be hitting on 5s because he is shaken.
Do you want to swap dice?
Right, looking for 3s. Get to reroll 1. That is 5. And you're looking for 5s, rerolling 1. 1. I need a single save of 4. Rerolling for oh no, because I've already used it this turn, so I'd suffer 1 casualty.
5,
you need 5 with no rerolls because you've already used yours as well. So 4. So you've lost to combat by 4.
And I'm on the thing, so it's a minus.
So it's
4
2d6 minus 4.
Yeah, it'll be right. It's not right.
7. That's 3. I think that is break if shaken. So they are gone.
Oh dear.
Right. So we'll just get that tidied up and we'll just move on to this over here. Right, we're going to do this one in a second, but we've kind of worked this one out. But so we're just going to do the simple one over here first, which is John Conyers charging into Lord Mountjoy. John Conyers is going to get 6 dice, hitting on 3s. Lord Mountjoy is going to get 7 dice, hitting on 5s because he's shaken, re-rolling 1 for tough fighters. Looking for 3s. 4.
Yeah.
And you're looking for 5s, but you get to re-roll 1. That was 3. I need 3 saves of 5.
Wow.
Yep. You need 4 saves of 4. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn.
Oh.
So 1. So 1. So you lost to combat by 1. So it's 2d6 minus 1. So 5. You are already shaken. So
Give ground disordered.
give ground disordered. He's going to be moving through another unit. So you're going to have to go 12 inches. So up the hill.
Up the hill.
And I can sweeping advance, can't I?
Yeah,
Into the cavalry. For some reason is just going to sweeping advance like this.
we used to get your cat.
And Hastings is in that unit, isn't he? He is because he rallied them.
Yeah.
So he'll get the bonus, but also that means he's at risk. So I will get 6 dice, hitting on 3s for charging. You are no longer shaken, you are no longer disordered, so you're going to get 5 dice for the sustained, because it's not a clash.
Yeah.
Hitting on 4s plus 2 for Hastings. So you got 7 on 4, I've got 6 on 3. 6 dice hitting on 3s. 4 again. And you're looking for 4s.
Oh, what's going on?
We get to reroll 1.
One for tough fighter.
So 1, 2, 3. I need 3 saves of 5. That's 2. So 1 casualty for me. You need 4 saves of 4. Rerolling 1. So 1 casualty. So that's a draw, isn't it? But let's roll to see what happens to Hastings. Come on. Damn it.
Shaking again, which is annoying.
So it's an out-and-out draw. So that combat's going to go on, but Miller's ended up going shaken on that unit. Right, we'll get that cleaned up, and then we'll sort out this one here. Okay, so this has got a little bit complicated, but we think we've sorted it out in a sensible way, which is that this unit here is engaged with the unit we're supporting, so that is now a separate combat to this one here. That's how it seems to make sense to us. The rulebook does talk about interlinked combats, but where there's multiple units all touching each other. But because these ones are separate and they're actually not, then that's what we'll do. It seems to make sense. So we'll start with James Harrison at the back. I'm going to get 6 dice for charging, hitting on 3s. Miller, because he's been attacked in the flank, is going to get 3 dice hitting back, hitting on 5s, because he's -1 because he's been hitting the flank. So hitting on 3s. 3. And Miller's fighting with 3, hitting on 5s. All missed, so you need 3 saves of 5. 2 more casualties, so you've lost to combat by 2. So it's 2d6 minus 2. 6, I imagine, is a retreat in good order. You'd think I'd know at this point now.
Give ground in good order, yeah.
Give ground in good order.
Do they fall back into there, or do they go there?
No, they would fall back that way, but if they contact a unit, you'd have to go twice as well as if they contact a unit. We will find out. Okay, so checking it, the unit actually just carries on in that facing. So it's give ground, men are fleeing back towards the woods. I get to make a sweeping advance.
You'd incidental combat in. Oh.
Would I not just sweeping? Can I just sweeping advance? Do you know what? I'm not going. I'm going to hold my ground. I'm going to hold my ground. For two reasons, just for simplicity's sake, and also because I don't want all my units to run away. Right, okay, so we're going to work this one out. Miller gets 7 dice. That's the easy part. He is hitting on 4s. I won the last round of combat, so I get 4 dice for this unit fighting to their flank. They're normally hitting on 3s because they won the combat last round, but they're fighting to their flanks. They're hitting on 4s. These guys will give 2 dice hitting on 5s because they're fighting to their flank. These guys have John Neville in with them, who is adding 3 dice. So I am going to get 7 dice hitting on 4s as well, plus 3 hitting on 5s. Okay, so whatever I just said, I've completely forgotten. So 5, so 7 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1 for tough fire. So 4 dice from the main unit, and then my supporting unit.
2 on 5.
It's 2 on 5. No, so 4 hits. Miller's fighting back, 7 dice hitting on 4s.
Tough fighter.
Yeah, reroll 1. 4 as well. 4 saves of 4. Rerolling 1 for stubborn. That's all of them. You need 4 saves of 4. Rerolling 1 for stubborn.
I'm gonna lose by 1. By
Lose
2.
by 2, but you roll for John Neville, so 2d6. Nope. So you're 2d6 minus 2 to your test. So 5. They're not shaken yet, though.
Give ground disordered.
Give ground disordered, so they're going to go this way.
Yeah, well, it says if you're surrounded, that was up. Pick a compromise.
Pick a compromise. So can he go 6 inches this way? Do you know what? This is going to take some working out. Okay, so there we go. That unit is shifted back in a line there. I've repositioned following the combat, and John Neville's left at. That is where we are at the end of the turn, and everything is just slightly up in the air at the minute. So we'll go into the next Suffolk turn. Okay, so there we go. Again, lots of combat about to happen. So, guys, do you want to talk us through it? Should we start over here, the less eventful side? I say less eventful.
I blundered into combat.
You blundered. I was hoping they were going to run off the board, but they charged pow-mow into the hand cannons. And then
Suffolk just moved.
Suffolk moved his whole division down after seeing those men run away, just because 1 arrow landed in the ground near them. He's encouraged everyone to go down there. Going to be taking a lot of arrow shots. And then over here, Hastings under Miller has this unit of men-at-arms charged into this bill and bow, managed to save from the closing fire, and this unit of bill and bow have charged into Jeffrey Gate. That combat over there is rolling on, so it's going to be quite close over there. Where do you guys want to start for shooting?
Crossbows into the flank.
Crossbows into the flank, so you're just going to be 2 dice hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits, 2 5+ saves, because you cap my saves for crossbows. However, I do get to reroll. Stubborn. So 1 more casualty. Be straight in front. Yeah.
In front.
I'd have said shoot them if you can break them, and then concentrate the 2 on that one.
Okay, yeah, fair tactics and all that.
Okay, so
we'll shoot there.
Okay, so it's going to be hitting on 3 dice hitting on 4s, rerolling 1. That's going to be a break test. Okay, so 2 saves of 5. No, 2 more casualties, so I'm not shaken. And a break test of 5 from shooting.
Hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order.
I think I'm going to retreat in good order.
I've not got troops behind my back now, which is a good thing.
There we go. So, what do you want to go with next? This unit, who are they going to shoot at? Same?
Yeah, same.
I mean, are these closer?
Oh, yeah, but they're in the arc, aren't they? So
Yeah, they're closer, so you have to go for these guys. So, 3 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. Okay, 2 saves of 5. 1 casualty.
And then the same again from the...
Same from this unit on the
Yep.
front.
2.
2 saves of 5. 1 more casualty. Okay, what else have we got?
That is all the shooting.
Is that all the shooting?
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to combat. So Miller, it's up to you. Which one do you want to do first? You've got your charge here, or the ongoing one up there?
I'll do the ongoing one here.
The ongoing one up there, so you lost the combat last round and you're shaken. So you've got your 5 dice, 7 dice hitting on 5s because you have Hastings, who's behind here, behind the tree. So 7 dice hitting on 5s. I've got 6 dice hitting on 3s because I won the combat. So you're looking for 5s, you get to reroll 1 for Tough Fighter.
1.
1. I'm looking for 3s. 4. You need 4 saves of 4. Rerolling 1 for Stubborn.
Oh my god.
4 casualties, and I need 1 save of 5. So I've got 1 casualty. Let's see if Hastings was among your casualties. No, he's clinging on. So you need a break test. You lost to combat by 3, so 2d6 minus 3. 6 free. They're shaken.
Yeah.
It's free. They must be gone by now, surely.
Break if shaken.
Break if shaken. And then we've got to roll to see what happens to Hastings.
Yeah.
So it's just a roll, isn't it? It's just a d6 straight up because he's in the unit. All right, so 1 to 2. Oh, I can't even remember actually. Let's just roll and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not even. Is it me that rolls or is it? Oh, it's 2. He's dead. He's dead. You roll for my commander. Hastings has bit the dust, but he went down fighting. No, he's not. I lied. He's not.
Oh,
Sorry. Sorry, no. He is. He's got a wound, and sorry, he's captured on a roll of 4 or more. So if I roll a 4 up, he's captured. No, he's just got a light wound, so he's separate from the combat. He's down to only a +1 combat bonus now, which is obviously these are the things that we've added. So he's only got a +1 combat bonus, and he's just separated from the combat. Right then, which one do you want to do next? This one?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s. John Neville's going to be in that combat. I'm going to get 10 dice hitting on 4s, plus 3 dice hitting on 4s in support. So we'll start with yours. So you get 6 dice hitting on 3s.
No rerolls?
Oh no,
No.
it's got a bow.
Yeah, so no rerolls. So how many was that?
4.
4. Okay, so for my men-at-arms unit, I get 10 dice re-rolling 1. Hitting on 4s.
Ooh.
Ooh.
2, 4. And then I get 3 dice hitting on 4s. So 6 altogether. How many did you do to me?
I did 4 to you, so 6
So
for
4
me.
saves of 4, re-rolling 1. There we go. That's all of them. And then you need 6 saves of 5. So 5.
Might get.
So I lost the combat by how many? By 1.
No, you
No, I survived. No, I
won.
survived. So you lost by 5, but you got to roll for
Yeah,
John
you
Neville.
roll for
So roll 2d6. He's got +3, so that's over 12.
Yep.
So yeah, roll another d6. You just lightly wounded him again. So he's down to only +2 now. He's getting chipped away. So but you still lost the combat by 4. So you are rolling 2d6 minus 4 for your break test. That's 4. They are shaken. They've taken quite a lot of casualties. Break.
Gone?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that's the end of that combat. I'm just going to leave them where they are. And over here, it's the men-at-arms against James Harrington. So the men-at-arms have 7 attacks hitting on 3s. And James Harrington has 6 attacks hitting on 4s. So you're hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1.
That's 7, yeah.
Yep. 6 hits.
6 hits, and I'm hitting on 4s. Re-rolling nothing, so I got 4. I need 6 saves of 5. That's 4 saves.
The saves.
So 2 dead, and you need 4 saves of 4, re-rolling 1. So 2 dead. Unfortunately, that does mean you're shaken, and you lost the combat by 2. 6, and he's shaken. I think that's just going to be a retreat disordered.
In good order.
Retreat in good order, so they go back 6 again. Okay, so I don't know quite what's going to happen over here, but over here it's just this combat here. So Robin is going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s because he's charged into the handgunners. I'm going to get 3 dice hitting on 4s, 5s even because I'm shaken. 4. I'm looking for 5s. 1. I need 4 saves of 6. Nope. And Robin needs what? No. So Robin took 1 casualty. I took 4. So I'm 2d6 minus 3 to my test. I can't do maths. 8. So 5. I am shaken.
Give ground disordered.
Give ground disordered.
Units.
Okay. So I'm just going to
there at the start.
retreat. Robin's chosen to make a sweep in advance, so he's going to get 6 dice hitting on 3s again.
4.
I get 3 dice hitting on 5s. 3. So, Robin, you need 3 saves of 5. That's 2 dead, and I needed 4 saves of 6.
1 dead.
1 dead. So Robin's lost to combat by 1. It's 2d6 minus 1 to his break test.
Okay.
So they stay there, and we fight again next round. Okay, so that's the end of a turn. We're going into the next Neville turn. How are you two feeling?
Yeah.
We're going to have to see what happens. So, Neville turn 5.
Turn 1.
Yeah. Right. So what's going on? Right, over here I've chosen to basically unleash with arrows again. I've beaten them back a little bit. Warwick has joined this unit and rallied it. It's because these guys are on the high ground, they're going to be firing over. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units firing. Over here, this combat's going to go on. Calais veterans didn't really want to do that much. However, the cavalry under Lord Scrope have charged home into the crossbowmen who don't get to stand and shoot, and the Bastard of Fauconberg has joined them. So as the horses are blown, they're not going to have their full clash value of 9, but as he's in there, he'll add 2, which puts them back up to 9. So I think we're just going to go into shooting. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to start with this unit here under John Conyers. He is going to shoot at Walter Blount, who has gone up the hill. So I'm within 12 inches, I think. So I'm going to be hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. I've been missing a lot with my archers, to be fair. Still saves.
This is where it changes.
Right.
On the mop-up.
4s. There we go. So turn the break test. So 3 saves of 4, re-rolling 1 for stubborn. So 1 casualty. Are you in excess now of because they've
already shaken, so he must be.
You're already shaken, so you've taken 1 casualty, so you're 2d6 minus 1 to this test.
Yeah.
3 from range. Is that a break if shaken?
Yeah, break if shaken.
Break if shaken. Okay. Moving on to the next unit.
Mopping up.
No, this is mopping up. I might have used the term mopping up, and I think it's maybe a bit premature. I will use James Harrington, who's going to fire into this shaken unit. And it's going to be the same thing. 3 dice hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1.
That's no great test.
So 3 hits, 3 saves of 4. Re-rolling 1 for stubborn. So it's 3 more casualties. Now, because you will be taking a break test at the end of the phase, but because that wasn't caused through a 6 being rolled, we're going to keep going, which is a tad annoying because they're in the way. So this unit here is going to have to shoot at that unit. Actually, no, I have to use the cannon. It says the cannon is part of that battle. They're not part of that, so I have to use the cannon. So the cannon is going to fire at them. He's not. Is he within 12? Someone just because if he's within 12, he's going to get his 2 dice. No. Okay. All right. So 1 dice. He's firing over the heads of his own men. And it's a 12, so it's 6. Nope. Next, we will go with William Parr's unit. Going to be doing exactly the same thing. So 3 dice, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. There's the break test. So 2 saves of 4. No reroll this time because you've used stubborn, so there's 2 more
Minus 5
casualties.
break test.
And you've got to take a break test, and you've got 5 excess casualties, so as Robin says, -5. 10 minus 5 is 5. Oh, come on, it can't be a retreating. Although you might end up going through your own men.
Ground disordered.
Get ground disordered. I think you're going to be going through Robin's units.
So it'll be 2 moves.
So you got 2 moves, and that unit's got to test. So that unit is disordered on a 1, 2, or 3.
No.
No. And they're just back onto 6 casualties. The unit that's on the hill is going to fire at this unit here. Just so you guys, we're not actually called, this isn't cover. We just use this to use it for the edges of the fields. These kind of hedges are. So I'm getting 3 dice hitting on 5s, rerolling 1. No, 4, 6s because I'm firing over the heads of my own men. No. These guys here, I'm going to shoot into them. They're under 12, so I'm hitting on 4s, rerolling 1. That's 1 save of 5. So 1 casualty. I think that is all the shooting. It wasn't as bad. Well, now to be fair, I got rid of 1 unit.
Kill 1 unit and move the other one back.
So now we'll go into combat. I'll start up here with the knights. And I'm going to get 7 dice because of the Bastard of Fauconberg being in the unit. And I'm going to be hitting on 3s. Your crossbowmen, I think, have got 3 attacks. So here we go, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1 for tough fighters. 5.
Do underpaid mercenaries make a good bodyguard unit? Let's find out.
No.
Oh, you're hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Did I say 5s? I might have said 4s. Sorry, no, I've got 5 hits. So yeah, you're hitting 4, so I need 2 saves of 3, rerolling for stubborn. They're fine. You need 5 saves of 6. New. So you lost the combat by, how many was that? No, that was 5, wasn't it? 3. No, 9. So 4. They are shaken though.
Yes.
So they're gone. If they are indeed gone, they are gone. I'm going to sweep in advance into the Duke of Suffolk, or the Earl of Suffolk rather.
Essex.
Essex.
You could.
I could. Well, I
Captain
can
in one
go the
go.
whole. I can go 9 inches.
No.
So I ride over him. Can you move me 9 over towards Suffolk, please? Can wheel him. They get to make 2 moves, don't they, on a sweep in advance? Hang on a second. Okay, so we.
I didn't see.
We didn't see if the Bastard of Fauconberg was dead. So yeah, roll 2d6. He's fine. Not only that, you gave him a present. So they've ridden over the Earl of Essex to the top. They maybe get 2 moves in the sweep in advance. So what they've done is they've gone forward and they've just pivoted there. So 1d6. Shall I roll or do you want to roll?
Oh, does he have to go with them? He does, doesn't he?
He does, yes, because he was part of the combat.
I'm trying to roll high, aren't I?
Yeah, you don't want a 1.
Oh, good at that.
6, so it's just a light wound, so he goes down to a +1, and then he just does a 12-inch move down towards his nearest unit, because his nearest unit is so far. Is this his last unit?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's running over towards them, so he's just now a +1. I can't seem to just get rid of these commanders. However, what they have got to think about, which was pointed out, is there is the general. Can we sweep into him? It's just this combat over here, the one that Robin really wants to win. So he's going to get 6 dice. He's hitting on 4s. I get 3 dice. I'm shaken, but I won the last round of combat, so I'm hitting on 4s as well. So I'm hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits. You've got 6 dice hitting on 4s.
3 hits.
3 hits. I need 3 saves of 6. That's 2 casualties. You need to. You've done 2 casualties, so it's a draw. I'm shaken, which means I've got to take the break test.
Well.
Yeah, but I was shaken at the start, so I just take a straight break test. Fine.
Yeah.
And that will roll on into next turn. So there we are. That is the end of my turn. We're going into the penultimate Suffolk turn. Okay, guys, you want to talk me through what's just happened?
Essex has just Tried to
He's trying to
join an allied unit, just
Yeah.
anything. Kind of go for broke in the middle here.
Yeah, these guys have. This unit is charged. They only took 1 casualty in closing fire. Needed a break test, but passed it. These men at arms moved into support, and Suffolk has joined the combat as well.
Ideally, I'd like the men at arms at the front, but it wasn't worth risking the disorder on the way.
No.
3. They've charged
Into this unit,
there,
didn't take any
and they just moved
casualties.
up just to give some shooting.
And over here, Hastings joined the unit and removed a casualty. So it's just into shooting. Where do you want to go
Just
first?
got the one unit
Is it just the
there.
one unit?
Yeah, it's all
So they've got to shoot
ahead.
straight ahead at these guys.
Yep.
So it's going to be 3 dice, hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1. 1 hit, 1 save of 5. No, 1 casualty. Okay, so hand-to-hand combat, where do you want to start?
Start laying all the way down, so...
Okay, so we'll start here. So you're going to get 6 attacks hitting on 3s. I'm going to get 6 attacks hitting on 4s.
Oh, 3, so that's right. 3.
Yep, and I am hitting on 4s. Oh, it's one of yours. 3.
3 saves of 5?
3 saves of 5.
No.
How many did you get?
3. Oh, so you win the combat by 1.
I win the combat by 1, and yeah, so 2d6 minus 1.
Yep.
2.
Good. But you're now shaken?
I am now shaken, yes.
It's Martin just trying to hold it in. I almost expect him to do a dance.
There we go. Oh, it was my little squeal in the Crusader game, I think, that, that keeps on getting commented on. Right, next up, we have this combat here. So,
This one's going to be...
I have 6 dice. That is it.
So I'm getting 8 dice hitting on 3s. Because 6...
Yep,
and
6
then
dice.
two-
So 8 dice hitting on 3s, and then how many dice do they add as a small unit? I can't remember. Right, so the men at arms add 2 who are going to be hitting on 4s. So you've got 8 hitting on 3s.
Yeah, and 2 on 4s.
Yep, 8 hitting on 3s.
4.
4,
No rerolls. And then 2 on 4s.
which you can reroll.
So 5 hits.
5 hits altogether. I've got 6 hitting on 4s. 4. I need 5 saves of 5. 5 casualties, and you need 4 saves of 5 as well.
Oh, 2.
2, and let's see if anything happens to Suffolk.
No.
No. So I lost the combat by 3, so it's 2d6 minus 3. 5, I think, is retreat disordered.
Give ground disorder.
Give ground disordered. So Robin is choosing to sweep in advance into these guys, so we'll just align those units. And Suffolk goes with them. So this unit is shaken, so this could be it. I'm getting pushed back up the hill here. Brave move. Suffolk goes with them. The men at arms stay put. And we're off fight fresh round of combat. So you're going to get 8 dice hitting on 3s. I'm going to get 6 dice hitting on 5s because I am shaken. Okay, so you're hitting on 3s. No rerolls.
And there we go. Oh no, 4.
4. I'm hitting on 5s. 1. So how many did you get, sorry? 4.
4.
4 saves of 5.
Whoa.
So 1 casualty. You need 1 save of 5.
Oh, the plus side, I guess, because you're shaking from that.
Yeah.
So save that. Let's see if anything happens to Suffolk. Yes.
Try
Right.
roll.
Yeah, you roll.
So 1 is bad.
1 is bad. 5. I believe a 5 is a light wound, but we'll just check. Light wound. So he's taken a fit. All of your commanders are wounded. All of them are down to +1, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm taking a break test.
Well, I guess even if it draw, you would have.
It was a draw.
You were shaken.
So it's just a minus. It's
-1.
-1. 5. I think that's the same as before.
Yeah.
So it's just a retreat. Okay, so there we go. So I have a whole load of shaken and disordered units, and but Suffolk is sitting rather tantalisingly in the open. So the only other combat is up here, where we have 6 dice hitting on. I won the last round, didn't I? No, it was a draw. It was now a draw. So you have 6 dice hitting on 5s because you're shaken. I have 3 dice hitting on 5s because I'm shaken. 2. None. 2 saves of 6. I've lost combat by 2. They're
Finally.
gone. They're gone. They're gone. Right, I'll get rid of them. Okay, so there was the really confident line there. We own the battlefield now from Robin. They do. But so what we're going to do? We're going to go into Neville turn 6. Okay, so what's happened? Over here, the Calais veterans have used their initiative to turn, and they're going to be putting fire into this unit. Over here, cannons reloaded, turned. Over here, these guys are shaken, but they can still turn, so they've done that. My knights didn't manage to get enough to actually charge the men-at-arms in the back, so hopefully that will happen next turn. Over here, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to put enough fire into that unit that something's going to happen. Over here, Geoffrey Gates' unit has charged into the Suffolk Bill and Bow, supported by James Harrington and with John Neville getting stuck in as well. And up here, because of the proximity of Suffolk, a lot of stuff was able to move by initiative, like the cannon moving around, the unit over here of Bill and Bow. Warwick tried to remove some casualties here and failed. Okay, so the next unit that's going to fire is this unit of Bill and Bow, are going to fire at Suffolk's unit of Bill and Bow. So it's going to be 3 dice hitting on 5s because they're just over 12. To reroll 1 for marksman. So 1 hit and a break test, 2 hits and a break test. 2 saves of 5, 1 casualty and a break test. 8, they're fine. The cannon is now going to fire. It's going to fire with 2 dice into that unit. They're going to be hitting on 4s. That's 2 saves of 6, and it's an automatic break test anyway. So 2 more casualties and a break test. They're fine. This unit at the front are going to fire into them. They're hitting on 5s because they're shaken.
I get my units are drawing line. 1 arrow falls near you, run away. Cannonball to the face. Okay.
1 save of 5. No, another casualty, so they are now shaken. If I can put 1 more casualty on them, then they need to test. So this unit up here is going to fire at them. It's not a clear target, and they're disordered, so I'm hitting on 6s. Reroll 1. That's a 6. So it's a break test as well anyway. So 1 dead, and it's a break test minus 1.
Is it a break test because you needed a 6?
No, it's a break test.
You need a 6, you need 2 6.
No, yeah, it's a break test because he's in excess, which will be at the end of the shooting phase.
Right,
sorry,
Oh, yeah.
that will be at the end of the shooting phase. So because you'll be at -1 for that, won't you?
Yeah.
So I'll just pop that behind there. So just remind. Right over here, the cannon's going to shoot at them. So 2 dice hitting on 4s. Nope, and it's a 1. It's another crack in the barrel, and the crossbows are going to fire as well, hitting on 5s. 2 hits and a break test. Saves of 5. 2 dead, so it's a break test, 2d6 minus 2. 5.
Oh, hold your ground disordered or retreating good, but I can't retreat.
I think it's a hold your ground disordered,
disordered,
isn't it?
yeah.
So they're shaken, and then these guys over here are going to fire 3 shots into their backs. They're firing because they're not a clear target. So I need 5s to hit. And they're not marksmen, so it's 2 hits, 2 saves of 5. No, so 2 more casualties, so you'll be taking a break test at the end. So now it's just a load of break tests to take.
So 1 there and a -1.
So Suffolk on a -1.
Good, really good. That's no problem.
3 on range. Do you want to check that?
Break if shaken.
Break if shaken. So now we roll to see what happens to Suffolk.
So we're rolling.
So you're rolling a d6.
6.
3. Basically on a 4 up, he's captured. He's mine. So as the men flee, one of Warwick's men charge forward. So he is now a captured commander. So I'll just pop him over here. I'll put him next to Warwick. Look, there we are. This unit here is 2d6 minus 2. So they're going to stay where they are. And your unit up there, Miller, is 2d6 minus 1. 5. Retreat disordered.
Oh, hold your ground disordered or retreat in good order. Retreat and save yourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
You're going to retreat?
Gonna have to.
Okay, right then. And now we just come. Oh, sorry, we just come into the combat. So Geoffrey Gate is got 10 attacks. Did I charge this turn? That was last turn.
That's this turn.
That's this turn. Okay, so I've got 10 attacks hitting on 3s because I charged because John Neville's part of it. With supports of 3 attacks hitting on 4s. So 9 attacks because John Neville's already wounded, as just been pointed out, hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1. So that's 7. And then I've got 3 attacks hitting on 4s. So 9 altogether.
I've got 6 attacks.
You've got 6 attacks coming back, hitting on 4s. 3. I need 3 saves of 4, re-rolling for stubborn. So 1 casualty. You've got 9 saves of 5. 5. And you've got a roll for John Neville.
Oh, yeah.
So 2d6. No. So you've lost to combat by 4. So it's 2d6 minus 4 to the break test.
Yeah.
So 0
I
is
was
gone.
gonna say minus 2, but-
And I'm going to make a 2-move sweep and advance up the hill. Please. Is that enough to get me to contact?
No, that's
No, it's just so he's just in front of Hastings. I don't care about contacting the unit. I want to contact Hastings. Right, and that, as we move these, is the end. So we'll now just go into the very final Suffolk turn. Okay, so actually, in a change of plan, based on the fact that there's really no one left to really give any orders, we've decided to call it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go away, we're going to have a look at the situation as it stands, and then we'll come back to you. Alright guys, so there we are. So yeah, it's been pretty brutal. So we've gone through the points. So Robin and Miller destroyed or routed 4 of my units, and on the board I have 1, 2, 3 shaken units. All of my commanders are still intact and on the board, which gives them 11 points. Miller, how many units of yours did I?
You defeated 4.
I did 4.
Shaken 1, so that's 9 points.
So 9 points, and then Robin, it's been quite a few. So
yeah, you destroyed 8 units.
8 units, so that's 16 points, and captured a commander. So the final points are 27 points to the Nevilles and 11 points to the House of Delapole and the East Anglian forces. The Duke of Suffolk is now in the custody of the Earl of Warwick, who wants to have a word. And we did start it, to be fair, yeah, when we started playing these. Yep, and Essex and Hastings are. Well, Hastings is going off back to Edward to try and explain what's been going on, see if he can distract Edward from his sausages. And Essex is probably just, what did you say? Suing for peace. So a very, very brutal game, but it went back and forth a few times. How do you two think it went? I don't mean that sarcastic.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
As well, because we had and it was just some of the dice rolls, which I guess is the point of playing a war game, to be honest.
Absolutely. I mean,
managed to get.
Yeah, we were saying that originally up there, it was the advance was better than the last game.
Yeah, and getting into the middle there, managed to shake loads of units, just couldn't
kill it.
Get rid of something to make a hole.
It's just getting that momentum, isn't it, to get them off the board. I mean, the reinforcements in everything fought. I can't think. I mean, the only thing I've got that didn't get into combat was my Calais veterans over there, and admittedly, cannons blowing up and men running off the battlefield just because one arrow.
On this side, a few bad command rolls meant stuff lagged
lagged
behind, which probably didn't help Hastings very much.
I mean, I was quite lucky because you guys brought the battle to me. I didn't really go further than this road.
I mean, you could use supports a lot more because we were charging 1 unit and you were able.
I was very surprised at how aggressive you were at the beginning, so I figured because I had so many bill and bow units, I would just try and weather, and that was it. I think by the time you were in combat, most of your units had 1 or 2 casualties on them, which does start to make a difference. But so Miller, that was your second game with us, and sort of in our little mini campaign. This is the final battle of the mini campaign. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think the rules really work very well, especially with all the things to do with the commanders and stuff. Adds all those little niches to the rules. Definitely develops Hellseeker a lot more. I think it's great to
have a go.
Great to have got him.
What do you reckon, Robin? We're doing it for about 9-10 months.
The Nevilles won the campaign, seeing as they won all the games apart from 1.
I guess we'd probably say that the Nevilles came out fighting over this little bit of land in East Anglia. They probably got it, but then as we decided we were setting this in sort of 1468-ish, it doesn't. I'm going to lose long term. Yeah, Warwick is dead in 2 years, and Delapole is definitely not. So that is the end of our mini campaign, and we thank you very much for watching this. Remember, all of the games are in a playlist. As I say, if you want a copy of this, which is the ruled out adaptations we've made for Hail Caesar, this is the latest latest version that we include all of the adaptations we've done, and it's basically version 1.4. I think the one that's been on the other downloads for the last year is 1.3. That update is now available at the link down below, and I'll try and get it so the other videos, if you click on the older, it will bring you to this one as well. So that isn't going to be the end of the Battles for the Wars of the Roses. We are looking at potentially doing a campaign using my campaign rules, which are going to be coming out in the next couple of months as well. I've just been a bit slow with those. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching the videos, and if you liked it, hit the like, and we'll be back soon with hopefully English Civil War and more crusading stuff, and we will see you guys all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.